these are the salt chimneys. They're right below us. Look at these.
This is the life emerging out of the water, literally, as we speak.
Yeah.
And the fact is how these actually created, you actually have fresh water springs coming from the Hebron and Jerusalem mountains, underneath the ground, underneath the Dead Sea. And in this kind of high salinity of water, fresh water and salt water do not mix. So somehow you have these streams of fresh water.
Coming from Hebron.
Coming from Hebron, correct.
Yeah.
And the micronism, okay, their job is actually somehow they cause the squeal of the salt to go around them, creating the sleeve of the salt, okay, and inside of the fresh water actually goes inside this sleeve, this water chimney. Why it's called chimney? Because on the top of it, you actually have the water leaving.
Okay, and they actually look like chimneys. They're little towers there in the Dead Sea that we're looking at.
And what's interesting, so this whole area is considered a forest of salt chimneys.
Wow,
and this was discovered to science like 6 years ago.
Great
this
point.
actually created.
This was not visible too long ago.
Well,
right?
the truth is, we did have these kind of formations on the shores over here, but nobody actually knew what that actually was until they started to investigate about a couple of years ago. All these different research about saving the Dead Sea. They basically realized about this unique geological phenomena that's actually happening these days because of the water level receding.
I've never seen anything like it, Noam. And you mentioned saving the Dead Sea, and that's one of your life's missions. Why did it get like this? You know, we're talking about the water receding. How did this all kind of unfold? Why does the Dead Sea need saving?
It's not a question of water going out, leaving the Dead Sea. There's no water coming into the Dead Sea. So it's very easy for Green parties to bring the focus on the industry, on the industrial, and the companies, on the all the companies in the south pumping out the water. That's only 30% of the problem. The major problem of the Dead Sea, why we're losing the Dead Sea, is because the historical flow has almost been dried out. We're talking about the Jordan River, the Sea of Galilee. So we're talking about the much bigger picture here that's connected to the Israel's water treasures. We're talking about the most biblical, enchanted water bodies of Israel that are being in a much more actually worse condition than the Dead Sea today. And that's why our focus, looking into the long run, in order to save the Dead Sea, you got to save the Sea of Galilee first of all. And of course, this is the whole Middle East politics about the Dead Sea, because you have on the other side, you got Jordan.
Jordan's right there.
Jordan's actually the fourth.
A few miles away from where we're sitting right now.
10 miles away across, that's it.
On the other side of the Dead Sea.
But the thing with Jordan, this is like the fourth country in the world having the least fresh water per capita. They have no drinking water whatsoever.
There's a water crisis in the Middle East.
The entire Middle East, for sure. Actually, the almighty rivers of the Middle East have been dried out for the first time in history. The Tigris, the Nile, this is the first time in history these water bodies have been dried out. Overall, the solutions for Israel, for water management, for water technology, this is a model case of the entire world. Mastering the Dead Sea, saving really the Dead Sea, and this is what brought me to really see the potential, is a model case of the entire world, and specifically for the Middle East. The water crisis around the world is going to be one of the main issues that the entire world is going to have to be facing in the next decade.
And Israel's helping to solve that crisis.
Israel already has a lot of those solutions. Israel is considered a global leader in water management, water technology, education. Already now you have a lot of cooperation with countries around the world. And like we said, being involved with the Dead Sea and having a vision of really saving the Dead Sea on the long run can be a model case for the entire Middle East and also around the world.
Fresh water on the shoreline of the Dead Sea. Look at this. And this is pretty recent, right?
Yeah, these are actually sinkholes, what we're seeing over here. So on one hand, it's a devastating aspect of the land violently causing huge holes.
Kind of an environmental disaster, I guess you would say, right?
An environmental disaster. On the other hand, it's a beautiful aspect of it.
It's a little oasis here.
At the same time, this is fresh water. These sinkholes are basically fresh water that are melting the sediments of the water itself, of the salts, causing cavities and having basically the earth to collapse.
So that's what causes the sinkhole.
Correct. And some of these sinkholes, again, the different colors that we saw beforehand, is because of different minerals that are actually are in the in the sinkholes themselves.
And they're popping up all along the shoreline of the Dead Sea.
Actually, one of the most rapid places in the world you have over here of the sinkholes, which are causing disasters. We have to close down roads, beaches because of that.
Near the Dead
No
Sea.
infrastructure of this region because no insurance company will give you a place to build
Yeah.
anything. On the other hand, again, this is the contrast of it, all the life coming out from these sinkholes.
Wow.
I mean, we just heard birds. You have bird migration right over
Yeah,
here.
it's a
Look at all
marsh
this
here.
vegetation.
Yeah, there's lush vegetation here. There's birds. We hear them chirping in the background. There's massive migration coming through here, Noam.
Right.
And there has been sightings, including by yourself, of fish.
Yeah, correct. In this single
this fresh
specifically,
water.
actually,
Yeah.
we saw some small fish. We do not see them right now.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, the
hiding.
fact you have vegetation just shows that salinity went down here, and you can actually have living creatures over here.
I think of the book of Zechariah that says, waters will flow from Jerusalem to the eastern sea. This is to the east of Jerusalem, the Dead Sea. And you think of the book of Ezekiel, chapter 47, Noam, it talks about the salt sea becoming fresh, of fishermen working at the Dead Sea. And we see a glimpse of this now coming to fruition. Look, this is fresh water in front of us on the shoreline of the Dead Sea. You get a chance to see this up close. This is amazing. What do you think of all this? Special.
This is exactly it. Experiencing prophecy coming true, being part of it, being involved with it is something so spiritually uplifting. And yeah, this is what we're seeing right now. You see with your own eyes this beautiful vegetation happening here. Just shows that there is life coming out from the Dead Sea. And sometimes when we're lucky, we can literally see fish coming out from these different sinkholes.
And you've captured still photos of them. You do great still photography here on a regular basis.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, this is what I do. It's
Yeah.
to document, to keep on exploring, to document. And my first time I came out here, I literally saw fish and I took those pictures, not realizing these pictures, what kind of significance this has to the entire world, spiritual world.
You know, the God of Israel is moving, and Israel, his land, is at the center of it.